Jumbo, fellow adventurers, Mike Dooley, happy Monday. Time for a spiritual tune-up with a rather sad question that I think can be a launching point into joy. All right, so how to be happy amidst suffering. Mike, I have a hard time staying positive and joyful when I see all of the bad things happening to people, planet Earth, and most of all, to animals. As I start thinking how much the animals suffer, it's hard for me to do anything, let alone be a productive human being. I feel you. I understand. Nothing I could ever say would justify the suffering. Neither would I try to negate the very real pain that is felt throughout the world by the planet, which is a living, breathing consciousness, by the animals, and by our brothers and sisters, human and otherwise, if you will. But what if you could imagine life on Earth where there was absolute, total joy, harmony, love, cooperation, literally everyone able to speak to the animals, everyone revering and honoring the God within everyone else, everyone working to help everyone else out and finding their own bliss in a unique and creative way so that they can be themselves while at the same time being of service to others. I call it selfish service, but that's a tangent there. What I want to get at is I want you to be able to imagine in your mind this world living as one symbiotic organism where every single ant, mosquito, molecule, atom, boy, girl, dolphin, chimpanzee is playing in one symphony together, taking us to a realm unimaginable with breakthroughs, discoveries, excitement. Imagine your happiest day on earth so far. Imagine the happiest day of your life on earth so far. Turn that up 1,000-fold. And imagine that kind of ecstasy ever increasing into eternity. That's normal. That's where we're going. And the price to pay for getting there is a fleeting pinch in a transitory holographic world such as what we're going through right now. What if you were told you can go there to this utopian society forever and ever, know that you're one with the divine, capable of all powers, in love and loved by everything, but the price is a brief, fleeting dip into ignorance where you will no doubt stub your toe, fall down, get hurt, violate and be violated. But that would just be a brief, fleeting speck that happened in a fake, make-believe dream world. The pain will be real, the circumstances won't. Would you pay that price for eternity in the palm of God's hand? You did, and you are. And you're paying it for all who will come beyond this juncture in time and space. This is not normal where we are. This is way out of whack. These are the Stone Age times that will be the folklore of future civilizations who will just not be able to wrap their head around the naivety and the ignorance we lived within. That we didn't know that we were loved all the time, that we didn't know we were supported by angels everywhere we went, that we didn't know that we were each other's brothers and sisters, where we thought animals were things to own or to eat. They will not believe the stories and the folklore of what we're going through right now. But we know it's real, and I'm not justifying it. It is not okay. There is no excuse for our ignorance, except here we are in the middle of it, laying the groundwork, paving the road with bricks of gold to a better world that will last for eternity. And some of you will say, well, why wouldn't we just skip? Why wouldn't God be able to just skip this crap right now that we're going through? I'm sure God has her own reasons, but do you know what's better than getting to the top of a mountain? This is a note from the universe, one of my all-time favorites. Getting to the top of the mountain after first having been so lost and so brokenhearted, you fleetingly thought you might never arrive. Can you imagine the ecstasy of getting to the top of the mountain after having been lost versus just teleporting to the top of the mountain? There'd be no adventure. There'd be no sense of accomplishment. There'd be no journey. Hey, it's about the journey, right? So this is my deduction of God's reason for us to be immersed in these sacred, hallowed jungles of time and space. I wrote about it in my book, An Adventurer's Guide to the Jungles of Time and Space, formerly titled Lost in Space. Many others have speculated God wanted companionship, so God created man and woman so that God could see herself through the eyes of another. You can't do that when you're everywhere always at once. And this world was so intoxicating that the man and the woman started eating the fruit and everything else to the degree they forgot that they were of God, because it's such an amazing oasis of paradise, and so they've forgotten. But we're waking up right now. It's an irrevocable march towards the light. And then when we get there, we're going to be on top of the mountain. It's going to be unimaginably blissful for the lessons we're going through now. And the cuts and the scrapes and the broken hearts, they're fake. The pain is real, but the pain will be cured. Everything else is fake. Everything here adds to you and makes you more. So I hope that helps and brings some comfort. I'm not trying to justify the ugly. All of us are tasked to do better, to look better, to raise the bar in our lives, in our spiritual pursuit. Look for the eyes of the divine behind those that you peer in today, whether they're fur babies or somebody out in the street or somebody on the internet right now. You're never alone. You're loved and adored, and you can begin living heaven on earth. You can begin living your fully realized self this incarnation on the fly. Maybe today is that day. All right, many of you asked questions that have already been answered in the last 100 plus spiritual tune-ups. Go to this very page that you're watching the video on right now. Make sure you're on the home Facebook page of my author page and click videos. And you're going to see a playlist. You can watch 100 of them back to back to back to back. You're going to see episodes. You're going to see that they're all titled and tagged with the topic. So I've talked about all these things, including the suffering of animals, several times already. Continue to post questions. If they've already been asked, I'll let you know. If not, they'll be my talking point later this week. Post below on Facebook or below on Instagram, usually the day of the broadcast. Tomorrow morning, I'll be reading today's notes for my talking points. So have an amazing week, everybody. Thank you for letting me do this. Thanks for your support. Thanks for the engagement. Hello, Elaine. Hello, Christina and Ursula and Winnie and Lisa and Jackie and Melina. I'm so glad you're all here on Facebook and Instagram. Jean, Catherine. All right, time for Tanya. Have a great one. Adios, amigos. Hasta